this is Vicki Jervikis. I'm with the Greater Gainesville Chamber, and I am the Director of Public Policy and Grassroots Engagement. And I'm delighted to be joined today by Anthony Johnson. He is one of our candidates for the County Commission, and he is in District 4. So we're going to get to know him a little bit better today and see where he stands on the issues. So Anthony, hello. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Vicki. Thank you for that introduction. Yes, I'm Anthony Johnson, and I'm running for County Commission seat, District 4 seat, mostly in the eastern region of the county. For those who are not aware of where District 4 is, one of the larger districts. And I'm running because I'm a resident of the district, obviously. I mean, you can't always guarantee that one's running is a resident of the district anymore. So I am really a resident of the district. And I love the district, but I feel that the district could use better leadership. Okay, the county commission, the makeup of the county commission right now, I mean, it's good people, but I just feel that a lot of the attention is being paid to other areas of the county other than District 4. I mean, District 4 has a lot of good, hardworking people, and I feel that they need to be represented. And I feel that now in my position, I'm at a point where I can throw my hat into the ring, so to speak, and try to be a representative for the citizens of District 4. I mean, we know that when you're on the commission, it's set up now, and you've heard this repeatedly over the last 6 months or so, but we are 5 commissioners for all the districts. So I will be a commissioner for all the districts as well, but my home district, I would not neglect it, obviously. So that's why I'm running. I feel that it's time, and the board can use an independent candidate. I'm an independent candidate. So you add all that up, it's time to elect Anthony Johnson for District 4.
All right, very good. All right, let's jump into some questions. The first question is, what do you think are the 3 most important concerns facing Alachua County right now?
The 3 most important concerns in my mind all evolve around growth, the growth of the county. Everything stems from county growth. And what growth has brought about is a situation now where we have to balance our resources better. We have to balance our revenue better. And we have to have a comp plan that's fully functional in all phases. So growth has led to resources being demanded by all districts of the county. I mean, we have an urban cluster right now that we are growing, and the way in which we are growing it, I'm not in 100% agreement with, because it does create a zero-sum game scenario for other unincorporated areas of Alachua County. I don't want to get too involved in that, but the urban cluster and how we are managing resources in terms of impacts and concurrency as it relates to our roads, as it relates to capacity, tax dollars, who gets what for roads, all that evolves around the urban cluster, and that all evolves around growth. Revenue management is an issue with growth. I mean, the 2 go hand in hand. Who gets the money? Who gets the infrastructure? Whose project gets done, and where will they be done? What location will they be done in? So we have those type of issues as well. And as far as, I think that was 2. The 3rd issue would be, fairness. Okay, there's a huge equity gap in the county right now. Okay, we have problems where we have jobs that are pretty much concentrated in 2 fields, either you're in healthcare or either you're in government. Not a lot of diversity in the job market here. And I would love to see that change because we have some great minds coming through the town, getting educated, but they leave once they graduate. And that because they just don't have the choices to meet their career field. So I would love to see that change, but that's all part of the holistic idea of how the county should be managed. So those would be my three main concerns right now. If we could do something to close the gap on any of those, it would be progress for the county.
Very good. Okay. This next question is just, what do you think the role of the county commission is in our community?
Okay, great question. I'm glad you asked that because you don't hear that much. Okay, we're told what the county commission is doing, and the county commission is always putting forth what they are going to do, but nobody asks, well, what is your role? So I love the question.
Thank you.
I think the role of a county commissioner is to be a mediator between county staff, which are career employees, and the public. In a nutshell, that's what the role of a good county commissioner should be. Staff is going to do the planning, staff sets up the comprehensive plan, staff does everything and present to the county commission for recommendations or approval. Now, a county commissioner has to be able to appreciate staff because staff does good work. They do hard work sometimes, but you have to understand where the public stands on these issues as well. And if there need to be any give and take, any type of negotiations, it should be done in a fair and judicious way so we can come to an understanding between the staff recommendations and what the public wishes to see. And so it's important that a commissioner be a fair and impartial person, judge in a situation like that. You can't have partiality. Okay, so that would be that's my definition of what the core role of a commissioner should be.
Okay, very good. This gives you an opportunity to talk in a little more detail about what would be your top priorities and projects if you're elected.
My top priority and project. If I was elected, I will pick up on where I've been presenting to the board as a public citizen for the last 2 years. I will pick up on the arrangement that we have with the multimodal transportation mitigation program. That program went into effect around 2010, and it was a 25-year program on how we were going to manage transportation impacts and basically handle new growth. We went away from the proportionate fair share mitigation plan that was, that most counties use, that was handed down from the state, recommended by the state, proportionate fair share on how you handle growth, because Florida is a growing state and the counties are growing along with it. Now, when we adopted the multimodal transportation mitigation plan, or MMTM, it came at a time when it was after the Great Recession and things were kind of slow. I mean, development in the county was slow. It was slow everywhere because of the Great Recession. Mm-hmm. And I understand the logic behind why we chose some of the policies that we did. We waived a lot of things like concurrency. We waived a lot of the DRI process for developers. We've made it easy for developers to develop in Alachua County. We kind of rolled out the red carpet for them, so to speak. And at the time that made sense because we needed growth. Things was stagnant. Now, that was 2010, okay? And since then, we've seen quite a bit of growth from, in the county, in the urban cluster, given that the MMTM was designed for development in the urban cluster, the unincorporated area of Alachua County, okay? Now, there were 3 urban clusters initially rolled out. one on southeast, in the southeast on Hawthorne Road, was one on up north by the airport on Waldo Road, and there was one on the West Gainesville starting at 34th Street that runs back to Newberry, literally. Okay, and so, but through it all, the concentration of the growth took place in the Western urban cluster, and doing that, the program gave discounts to developers because the MMTM plan called for better ways to transition into the future in terms of transportation. We want other modes of transportation besides automobiles. So we wanted to have, bike lanes, bike paths, other multimodal transportation means. So we were told that if we build a certain way through the comp plan, we require mixed use development, we require high density, okay? We can create traditional neighborhood developments or TNDs, or we can create transit-oriented developments. These things would not require automobiles. So therefore, if it's not going to require automobiles, if the developer agrees to our type of development plan, then we will give the developer a discount because he don't have to meet road impacts. You don't have to worry about the traffic now. And so our arterial roads in the west, like Archer Road, Newberry Road, those you wouldn't have to worry about those because although the development is happening around them, it's the type of development that's mixed use where people are going to be working, shopping, playing, living in their neighborhoods. So they're not going to be getting in cars going into town. So there's no reason to charge for a road impact fees to the developers. So we gave them a big 39% discount on those fees. Well, it sounded good initially, but now 10 years into the plan, we see now we do need roads. And as we give these discounts, we have to make those discounts up somewhere. So I want to address that first and foremost, because right now we have a roads issue in the county. We were told by the Public Works Director that we have a $450 million road deficit. If you want to clean all the roads up and get them right, it will cost $450 million, and we don't have that. But we continue to give developers discounts as they build their developments, and they don't pay into any road funds to help bring down that $450 million. We're looking to do a surtax from the taxpayer to try to mitigate that. And I don't want to do that.
Okay. All right. Well, boy, that's a perfect segue. And again, nobody got the questions ahead of time. So this is
okay.
But that leads perfectly into this question, which is we have two amendments that are going to appear on the November ballot. One is the single member districts initiative, and the other one is the infrastructure sales tax, which jumps off of wild spaces, public places, and to fund roads. What's your position on these two initiatives?
Yeah, well, I'll finish on my tax.
Mm-hmm.
The surtax, as I recall, it's a half-cent surtax, mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be the silver bullet for our roads infrastructure. With this tax, everybody will get their roads done, and there's going to be leftover money for homelessness. There's going to be leftover money for affordable housing. All of this out of one half-cent sales tax. Where I've questioned the board repeatedly on how can 1/2 cents do this when we have a gas tax that we collect in the county, and we've maxed out our gas tax allocation at like 12 cents. I mean, there are counties that haven't done that. There are counties that still, down as low as 6 cents as far as charging per gallon. But we're at 12 cents now. We maxed it out, and our roads haven't gotten any better. Okay, as we charge this, the highest possible gas tax, that the state allows. So I don't want to go that route, because I know that as long as we stick to the plan with the MMTM, where we're giving the discounts to the developers are bringing on capacity, which is taxing our roads even more. making it more difficult, and those roads have to be paid for by the citizens of the county. So I like to make the analogy that when you have a patient that you wheel into the emergency room in an accident and he got a hemorrhaging problem, even though he may have a broken arm or may have some superficial cuts, work on the hemorrhaging first. Okay, we have a hemorrhaging problem with these discounts that we're giving to the developers. Stop the hemorrhaging so that we can start creating this ballooning infrastructure deficit budget. Start charging a fair share to the developers, let them pay their fair share to stop it. Then maybe I'm open to trying to address the deficit that we've accrued, maybe try to bring that down with a limited tax, not the 10-year tax that the surtax is being proposed. No, it wouldn't be a 10-year tax. Okay, but I'm not for any tax until we stop the hemorrhaging from giving the developers the discounts where they're not paying their proportionate fair share. Okay. Now, as far as the single member districts, I am definitely for single member districts. I'm for single member district for multiple reasons, but the most obvious is you can be a commissioner, and let's say in my case in District 4, and not receive a single vote from anyone in your district and still win the election. I mean, just that alone, that you can't do that. Okay. No. So I believe you must have a system where the people in your district have a say in who represent them. Right now, like I say, you can actually win your district without getting a single vote from anyone in your district.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. So the final question is one of these big wrap-up questions, and it is, why should the members of the business community support you?
You had a delay there, Vicki. I didn't get that. You
okay.
Had a pause.
Yeah, I'll repeat it. We do have a little bit of a glitch here. Yeah. So why should members of the business community support you?
Oh, great. You're putting them in my wheelhouse for me. Now, you say you did
like
not.
I said, everybody's getting the same questions and nobody got them up front.
Okay, that's great. I'm no tax Tony. Okay. The business communicator brings that. No tax Tony. I know what high taxes do to the business community. Okay. In order to get this county to run on all cylinders, we really, really have to make this a low tax city, a low tax county. Okay. Taxes are a drain on the county. From a standpoint of the citizens not having cash or having any type of cash that they can go out discretionary spending, so to speak. Everything now, all they're making has to go toward taxes and bills. That's not good for business. You want people going out, spending money. So we want to free up the taxpayers so that they can actually support business. Okay, and we want to create an environment where we have a diverse workforce, a diverse job market, and we want increased median income. The more money people make, the more that helps business. Right now, Alachua County, with all of its prized possessions, so to speak, you know what they are, UF Health, UF, we're way down in the pack when it comes to median income per household. We have a 99%, 1% paradigm here also. I mean, there's some that are in those institutions that make well, that earns a decent wage, but the majority of the folks don't. So I'm looking for a diversified job market. So I would love to see just where I'm from. I would love to see an electric car manufacturing plant right here in Alachua County. Okay, there are electric cars are the way of the future. Koreans, China, they're making them, but they want to sell them in America, and they need someplace in the supply chain to do that from. I think Alachua County would be a perfect place for that, because Alachua County, and you probably noticed by that you're with the county, And you don't get this talked about much. I'm surprised. Alachua County is the most educated county in Florida per capita.
Makes sense.
There are more people. We need to use that as a marketing tool. I would use that as a marketing tool to the world, to the global community. We need to let people know that Alachua County is where you want to land your supply chain. We are inland enough. We don't have to worry about the Cat 5 destroying everything. We have a decent weather. Otherwise, we sit atop the biggest, most productive aquifer, one of the biggest, most productive aquifers in the world. So we have natural resources here in terms of water, which is nothing to take lightly these days. And again, we got an educated workforce. We got institutions here. So we are primed to land a company on the scale of a Tesla. It don't have to be Tesla. There are other companies that make electric vehicles now. I would love to see that type of industry hit Alachua County. That would do wonders for everybody and the businesses here. So I'm sure I wouldn't get any pushback from the business community if I were to go try to make that sale. And because I don't think we can tax our way, regressively tax our way to prosperity. Regressive taxes does not help business. And these taxes, regressive taxes, they just put a drain on business and just so that would be, if the business community can't embrace my vision of that, then I don't know what it would take.
Okay, terrific. So now you have a couple minutes just to get in anything else that you wanted to say or to summarize and wrap it up for us.
Okay, so in summary, I would say that Alachua County is a great county, has a lot of potential. We have a lot of resources here. I mean, but we are not maximizing them right now. Right now, the county is not running on all cylinders. Okay, we have just too much concentration of attention. Like I say, the urban cluster, a lot of the western municipalities, but we have all kind of possibilities in the east that we're not even taking advantage of. We got to do that going into this post-COVID world. We can't do business as though this is pre-COVID anymore. We got to rethink how we do everything now because we're in a post-COVID world, and the sooner we can adjust and make the transition to that, the better. The longer we lag behind and try to recreate the pre-COVID world, we're going to lose out on opportunity after opportunity. I'm saying sit down and reorg. We need to go through all of our SOPs on how we do things. We need to rethink how the personnel, and everybody's going through that now. So county government has to be there. You can't ignore it. It's happening throughout the world. Get on board with it and let's move this train forward. And as a segue into that, by the way, trains, we do need transit other than RTS bus system. We were promised from Celebration Point, which is transit-oriented development, that we would be having a transit line, a light rail or trolley line to run from there through Butler Plaza to UF Health VA on over to the campus into downtown. That was promised. We're building more roads instead. Matter of fact, we just got a big grant from the FDOT to build a frontage road from alongside the interstate to get to Celebration, help get traffic to Celebration Point. That type of planning, you're building a event center inside of a transit-oriented development that has to require large parking garages to bring cars in. You defeat the purpose of transit-oriented development when you do that. Okay, you don't want to do that. You shouldn't build something like that that's going to attract cars into the transit-oriented development. Obviously, the transit-oriented development was to eliminate cars through transit or the transit means. So those type of planning the debacles and errors, we need to stop making those because I say we're going to a new era now where every dollar counts. You can't blunder and hide behind moral, what's the word I'm thinking here? Okay. Moral compass.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So You can't do that. Every dollar counts. I know the taxpayers are there. And I know that it's easy to just go to the taxpayers when we create a boondoggle, just go to the taxpayers and get more. We can't do that. You know, that doesn't allow the county to run on all cylinders, and we kind of stay in a mode where we have a haves and the have-nots, and everybody's uneasy. Okay, so let's get back to revenue management at its finest. And I think as No Tax Tony at the helm in the mix, he's going to speak up. He's going to make these things known that we're here to serve the taxpayers. We're their servants. We're not here to lord over the taxpayers, okay? Sometimes I think people get elected, they forget, something goes wrong, and they think now we are the boss. No. The county commission is not the boss. And I've had to correct them at the commission many times on this. You know, they say, well, you know, we are the county, and the county staff is the best resources that we have here. No, the county and the county staff is not the best resource. The taxpayers are the best resource you have here. So let's keep it all in perspective and do this thing in a way that it serves everyone. Everybody know their roles, stay in their lanes, and we can make this county run on all cylinders. And once we do that, Vicki, I mean, you think, a lot of people say, we love it. I love Alachua County now, but they only live in a small circle of Alachua County. They only travel in a small circle of Alachua County. Yeah, but I'm talking about the county-wide. I want this to be a county-wide experience. Everybody to have that sentiment. This is a beautiful place. It's running on all cylinders. All boats are rising. Everybody's happy. And it will be, there's no better place on earth to be than Alachua County. That's my vision. So I hope you will join me, vote for me, because I know that we can do better. Anthony Johnson, County Commission, District 4, independent candidate. And one more thing. I know my time almost up.
Yep, we're running up. Yep.
They say sometimes the planets line up. You know, the moon is in the 7th house and all these things. You get all these weird occurrences on occasion. You have that right now, Vicki. There's a strong possibility you could have 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and 1 independent as the makeup of the county commission. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that?
That is the planets aligning.
Can you imagine that? Now, that would be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be, I mean, you're talking about utopia for getting things done. No one has a majority anymore. Okay, that would be great. So I didn't plan it that way, but I'm seeing things are starting. The stars are starting to align for my campaign. So I just thought of that this morning. You know, that's a possibility, and I want to include it in this video. Let other people know that would be an interesting possibility. Because what you have now, everybody agrees and everything gets passed unanimously, no diversity in thought. So that's all. I'm going to stop there, Vicki. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for listening to me. I know I've been through it quite a bit here because I've tried to get a lot in, but I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much, Anthony. And it was a pleasure talking to you today. And I do want to emphasize Anthony's point that this is an important election year, and we at the Chamber want to make sure that every voice is heard. And so please keep in touch with us through our website at the GainesvilleChamber.com. We'll have all the information you need about the upcoming elections, the candidates, links about them, and we want you to take good use of that information and get out and vote. Thanks so much again, Anthony. Good luck on the campaign.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.